Yes, correct.
Now, we see another wound that I'm going to talk to you about a little bit later, this wound on the upper right arm. Do you believe that these two wounds are associated in some form or fashion?
Yes, I do.
Can you explain to the jury?
So the general, so first off, the wound on the right arm that you see in the exhibit is superficial. It's what we consider a graze wound, and so it doesn't actually enter into the right arm itself. And if you just from this picture can kind of see that it's kind of in a line with the entrance wound on the chest. So my opinion is that it's likely the same projectile or bullet that caused this injury pathway. So it grazes the right arm and then enters the right chest.
Okay. Can you tell us what internal structures in the body that projectile passes through during the infliction of this wound to the right chest?
So the injuries sustained to his chest included pretty much defects or perforations of the lungs, the heart, and the aorta.
Now, there's a documentation about a right second intercostal space where the bullet core and the jacket separated. First of all, the right second intercostal space, is that related to the rib cage?
Yeah, so the intercostal muscles are the muscles between your ribs.
Okay, the muscles between the ribs. So
Yes.
there is musculature there on the rib cage.
Yes, that's correct.
Bullet cores and jackets separating, is that an uncommon event?
It's not common, but we see it.
Okay. See it enough to where you recognize it when you see it?
Yes.
Okay. And the jacket portion of this projectile embeds in pectoral musculature somewhere in the body, is that right?
Yes, so it actually is pretty much gets caught in the right chest muscle, the right pectoral muscle.
And then the core continues to course through the body after that?
Yes, it continues on, and it's
Okay.
found later on the left side of the chest.
Now, you indicated that core passed through, I guess, the upper lobe of the right lung, the aorta, the heart, and I believe you said the lower part of the left lung?
I just said the lungs, but yes, I believe Dr. Riley documented it as the left, or the lower lobe of the left lung.
Okay. Was there also some type of injury to the pericardial sac?
Yes, there would be holes in the pericardial sac. The pericardial sac is pretty much this fibrous tissue or the tissue that surrounds your heart. And in this case, it had defects in it consistent with within the wound path.
And then it ends up in the musculature of the lateral left chest.
Yes.
Let me ask you first of all, would this wound have been fatal?
Yes.
The aorta, for those of us who don't know, what is that structure? What is its function within the human body?
So the aorta is like the main pipe that takes all your blood to all your other organs to every other part of your body. So it comes off of the top of the heart, and it's pretty much responsible for making sure that blood gets everywhere inside of you.
Is it a pretty large artery?
Yes.
Were there associated injuries to this wound, such as hemothorax?
Yes.
And hemothorax, what does that term mean?
Hemothorax, so hemo just means blood, and obviously thorax is chest. So really it's blood within the chest cavities. So you have some really minuscule space between your lung and the inside of your chest wall, and fluids can accumulate there. So there's a buildup of blood in those spaces.
Was there a documented amount of 700 milliliters of liquid and clotted blood in the right pleural cavity?
Yes.
What is the right pleural cavity?
Again, this is the right. The pleural cavity is the space between the lung and the chest wall.
Okay. And then there was a left hemothorax consisting of 1,100 milliliters of liquid and clotted blood in the left pleural cavity, so the same area on the left side of the body?
Correct.
And then another 50 milliliters of liquid and clotted blood in the pericardial sac, which you've already told us is a sac that it surrounds the heart.
Yes, correct.
So we're talking about almost 2 liters of blood just in this wound.
Yes.
Is that a significant amount of blood and bleeding?
Yes, that is.
What is the total volume in an average adult male?
The average adult male can have anywhere from 4 to 5 liters of blood.
Was the separated jacket and bullet core, were they recovered?
Yes, they were.
And were they photographed?
Yes, they were.
And were they sealed into appropriately labeled envelopes?
Yes.
So those would have been available for law enforcement to come and pick up?
Yes, so anytime we collect evidence such as bullet fragments, we tend to photograph them with the package that we label, and then we place them inside, seal them, and then we will turn them over to law enforcement at the completion of the autopsy.
So I'm going to publish States 32C, and this is just another view of this wound, this grazing wound to the upper right arm, and then the wound to the upper right chest. So the grazing wound, is that going to affect any structures other than the skin and the subcutaneous tissue underneath the skin?
No.
Okay, so that's just kind of going straight across the skin.
Yes.
All right. And, all right, let me move on then. Oh, with this wound, the way it entered the body and its direction, were you able to determine or, based on your review, the direction of that wound track?
Yes, I was.
And what was the direction of the wound track?
So when we give trajectories, just to understand this, is we don't know what position the person is in when they have these wounds inflicted, right? We move around a lot, we're flexible, and since we can't tell based off the wound track, we have to go by what we call the standard anatomic position. So standard anatomic position is standing upright with your arms extended by your side, your palms forward. So in relation to the standard anatomic position, this bullet path was right to left, front to back, and downwards.
Moving on to a wound that is labeled as B, as in Bravo. Was this a gunshot wound now on the opposite side of the body, the thoracic lower left back?
Yes, this was a gunshot wound to the back.
All right.
On the left side of the back.
Publishing States 32E. Is that wound reflected here in this photograph, at least the external portion of the wound?
Yes.
Okay. And we have these two wounds that I'm pointing out on the lower left back. Were both of those gunshot wounds?
Yes, the wounds that are labeled 3 and 4 were both entrance gunshot wounds.
Okay. And one of these is the B wound that we're talking about?
I believe it was number 3 was the B wound.
Okay.
Or what Dr. Riley had distinguished as B.
All right. So the one that is, for lack of a better way of describing it, above the number 4 wound.
Yes.
That is an entrance wound. Is there an exit wound component to that gunshot wound?
No.
Were there any exit wounds in any of these wounds?
No.
So this wound, what part of the body, what anatomic structures did the projectile pass through?
So this wound passes through the left kidney. It passes through the diaphragm, which is your muscle that helps you breathe, and it passes through the left lung.
Okay. Is this a fatal wound?
Yes, it can be.
Now, the diaphragm, is that an important structure as far as its function and it being injured? Does it have an effect on the body when it's injured like this?
Yes, it would compromise to some degree your ability to breathe.
Does the diaphragm, does it assist or does it work with the lungs in breathing?
Yes, so the purpose of the diaphragm is as it's a muscle, and as it contracts and relaxes, it actually allows air to enter your lungs and then pushes air out.
And in this wound, was there a projectile that was recovered?
I believe there were fragments recovered from this within the left pleural cavity.
A deformed jacketed bullet and a bullet core fragment were recovered?
Yes,
Okay.
that sounds correct, yes.